Welcome to Speaking Up with Jessica Dumas. I'm a certified life coach that specializes in business, leadership, and all things speaking and confidence mindset. Let's chat. Hey, and welcome to 2024. My name is Jessica Dumas. You can find me on Facebook at Jessica Dumas Coach or jessicadumas.ca on Instagram or the internet. How's it going out there? I'm here to do your weekly check-in. I want to invite you to put your hand on your heart and take a really deep breath. We made it. We made it to a brand new year. So happy New Year. I put a post on my Facebook page a couple weeks ago, and I asked people, what would you like me to talk about on the show and on my podcast, the Confidence and Communication Podcast? And so I have a list of things that I'm going to share. Today, I'm going to answer the question of how to have a wellness routine and stick to healthy choices. So if that sounds interesting to you, I want you to grab a pen. I want you to write it down. I'm also going to start posting my tips that I share on the show on my Facebook page. So Jessica Dumas Coach on Facebook. I'm going to post it on Thursdays, the day of the show. And that way you can go and take a screenshot or you can share it and you can let me know what you think. You could just put some comments on the post. So when it comes to starting a wellness routine and making healthier choices, the first thing I want to say is it should be something that's done for you. You have to want to do this. It can't be something that you're telling someone to do or you're doing because someone else wants you to do it. Those are not reasons enough for you to want to make a commitment to something. Here are some points. Okay, I'm going to get through some major points, but just to start out, when it comes to a wellness routine, start small. You don't want to start something and expect immediate change and then be hard on yourself. So you want to start small, you want to start gradually, and you want to know and recognize, and I'm going to remind you that change takes time. So what I'm going to share with you today, I want you to take what resonates for you, and then I want you to leave the rest. I don't want you to pressure yourself. Self-development is not about shaming yourself into change or being better. This is not a competition. This is an invitation. I might do an extended version on the Confidence and Communication Podcast because I had so much fun putting these notes together. And this is what I live for. This is what I do. So thank you for this question. And I'm excited to share it with you. So here's the first thing that you are going to do when you think about wanting a new wellness routine. So the first thing, and this is some of the areas that we sometimes fail because maybe no one told you before, but we're going to make it happen. And again, you're going to take what you want, what resonates with you, and then you're just going to leave the rest. So if you are someone who wants to start a wellness routine and you want to make sure that it sticks, these are things that you're going to do. Okay, the first one is going to be, you're going to make a list of a routine or the things that you want to change. You're going to make a list and you're going to get specific. What I mean by that is, let's say you want to start eating a more proper breakfast. And that means eating something that you think is healthier or eating something that's just on a regular basis. Or maybe you're someone who just typically doesn't eat breakfast and you know that your day would be better if you started off with a proper breakfast. So you need to get specific with it. How you can get specific on that is, are you going to eat breakfast at home? Are you going to eat your breakfast with your morning coffee? Do you know what that breakfast is going to be? Is it going to be oatmeal and fruit? Is it going to be boiled eggs? So getting very specific on what it is that you want to do. What is the change that you want to make? Maybe it's something like you want to exercise more. So going into a new goal with something so vague as, I want to exercise more. There's nothing behind that. And that's really what I'm trying to bring to you, is you want to put some meat into it. With the details, with the specificity. So for exercise, get specific. What does that mean? Are you going to join a gym? Are you going to join a gym and you're going to go 5 days a week? Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's not something that you're really ready for. Maybe you want to start creating the idea. And again, starting gradually with maybe this month, I'm going to start going for 20-minute walks every day, like from Monday to Friday or from Sunday to Thursday or whatever, you get to choose. But being specific is going to help you measure what your goal actually is and what you're actually getting to. So here's an example that I started last year is I wanted to read a book a month. And so an average book is about 250 pages. And so if you divide that by an average of 30 days, that's about 8 pages a day. And then if I wanted to get realistic, I thought, well, maybe I'm not going to read every single day. Maybe I'll read 25 days. That gives me a few days to, like, if, I get busy or something happens and I just forget or I just don't do it, then I still have 25 days to catch up. A 250-page book works out to be 10 pages a day if I break it out over 25 days. But what was important for me, and I knew if I wanted to make this stick, by the way, I didn't make it stick, but I'm going to try it again. I did it for 4 months, and I did continue to read, but I didn't read a book a month. I probably read about 6 books. So what was important for me to get more specific on this was I wanted to read at 8 p.m. So I wanted this to be part of my bedtime routine. This is where I'm going to start winding down. I want to do it at 8 p.m. So I needed to get specific. I can't just say I'm going to read a book a month and then just throw it out, and make a wish. I needed to get specific if I wanted it to work. So 8 p.m. to me, that meant, okay, if I want to be in bed at 8 p.m. with a book, that means I'm going to wash my face and brush my teeth by at least 7:50. So that gives me 10 minutes to take my time, wash my face, and brush my teeth. So that means at 7:30, I need to recognize, okay, I have to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to start pulling myself away from what I'm doing and getting into my routine by 7:50 so that I can be at my bed at 8 so that I'm reading at that time. And so I'm going to get to the fact I shared I didn't accomplish that last year, but I'm going to get to that. So stick with me. The next thing that you're going to do is you need to know why you want to do this. So why is it possible? So if this was something that was really important for me, I needed to know that I wanted to have a really nice bedtime routine. I wanted to be able to learn something new. There's a lot of books that I see lists or people will recommend. People will tell me, oh, you should read this book. Jill Featherstone, by the way, she's always telling me, oh, you should read this book. And so I have this list of books and I want to read them. I want to be a reader. I want to learn. I want to expand my mindset. I want to grow. And I would feel really good about reading. So I needed to tell myself why it's possible. So that's the second thing. Tell yourself why it's possible. If exercise is a thing for you, then you need to remember and remind yourself, why is exercising important to you? Maybe part of that exercising or implementing a new healthy habit is also drinking more water throughout the day. There's a recommended 8 glasses of water that we drink a day. So why do you want to drink 8 glasses of water per day? Get clear on that. Maybe it's wealth management. We know, and if you do some research, drinking more water helps your body get rid of waste. And we know, we've heard that our body is made up of 60 to 75% of water. And so drinking more water is going to be overall better for our health. Maybe you want to quit smoking. You want a better quality of life. You want to be a good example for the kids in your life. Maybe you just want to be a non-smoker. It'll feel good to say, I'm not a smoker. So it's really important to tell yourself why it's possible. The next thing I want to invite you to do is there's something called habit stacking. I read a book last year by James Clear. It was called Atomic Habits. And he says if you're already doing something that's working or something that is part of your daily routine, what you can start to do is stack a habit on top of it. So here's an example. If you're someone who maybe you're like me and you like to scroll the internet in the evening, I don't watch TV, but maybe you watch TV. Maybe there's a show that you watch every day at 7 p.m. and it lasts an hour. If that's something that you enjoy, you can continue on with that, right? I believe in creating a life that we love. And that means giving in to some of those things that we like to do just for ourselves. And if you're doing that, you can habit stack. And what that means is when the show ends or when you set an alarm for your scrolling time to end, then you pick that next habit that you're going to create. And then you just start recognizing as soon as I put my phone down or as soon as I shut the TV off, I go and I do this other habit. That's habit stacking. Something that's really important, and this is coming back, I'll share a little bit about my book reading, is to accept that done is better than perfect. And so that's going to be your third one, is accepting that what's done, it's better than being perfect. So for example, in the example of where you want to drink 8 glasses a day, maybe when you were being specific, you said, I want to drink 4 glasses by 1 p.m. And then, and by the way, I've done this before too, after a certain point in the day, maybe you emptied your water bottle and you just decided, I'm not going to go fill it up. I'm too lazy. I don't want to do it. So you just drank the 4 glasses in the water. You drank the 4 glasses of water in the morning. And then in the afternoon, you didn't do it. This is where I say, give yourself some compassion, because it takes a long time to create change. Many of the habits that we are already doing in our lives are things that are just automatic. They're just processes where our brain has actually created these neural pathways for us to do something the way that we've always done it, right? That's so easy to lean into. We do this way because it's the way that we've always done it. And so when you're trying to create a new habit of doing things, it causes a discomfort in our brain, and there's a system that's happening in our brain and it thinks it's doing us a favor by keeping us comfortable, and we don't want to shake it up. We don't want to disrupt it, right? So for example, if you are, or if you were a smoker and there's something within you, you find peace in that. There's a little bit of a false feeling of reward. There's a bit of a craving when we want to smoke. When we give in, we get that reward. Sometimes the reward is chips. Sometimes the reward is scrolling for your phone on 2 hours. But it's really the dopamine hit. And so when we're changing habits, we have to restructure that track that our brains are on. And that's going to take some work. So in order to do that, you need to give yourself some compassion, recognizing where you are, and that change is not going to happen overnight. And here's the biggest, okay, here's number 4. This is the biggest thing that I want to share with you that I think to me was such a huge lesson when I started the gym. And I also want to say, before I go on to my 4th one, is accepting that done is better than perfect. So when I didn't read a book a month, when I got through 4 or 5 months and I just, summer came and I forgot all about reading, I gave myself some compassion. And I was still reading. I just wasn't reading 10 pages a day, but I was giving myself some compassion. And I recognized that done is better than perfect. And I allowed myself to say, you know what? I can read tomorrow, or I can start again next week, or I can read when I want to read. And if I'm not doing it every single day, I'm not going to be hard on myself. That's something that is so important. Number 4, when you're making a change like this, you want it to be a lifestyle change. And what I mean by that is when we change habits, when we want something new in our life, we need to recognize that it needs to be in there for the long haul. This is how you create real change, is lifestyle change. We hear this all the time about people going to the gym. They go to the gym because they want to get fit or they want to lose weight. But that's not a realistic goal, because what happens when you get fit? What happens when you lose the weight? If you're following that specificity, you lost the weight, then you end your membership, and then what? So to make a lasting change with going into creating a wellness routine and making healthier choices, that it's about the long run. Going to the gym should be a lifestyle change. All of these things that you want in your life need to be a lifestyle change. They need to be a part of who you are. As I shared earlier, please take what resonates with you today and leave the rest. This is not a competition. I'm going to share more on the Confidence and Communication podcast. So you can search for that wherever you listen to podcasts. You can enter it on the internet. And also keep in mind that I'm currently recruiting 6 entrepreneurs to be a part of my Speaking Up group program. In this group program, you're going to learn how to market yourself, clarify your talks and your messages. I want to help you be speaker ready and get paid to speak. So I'm looking for 6 people. Follow me on Instagram at jessicadumas.ca if you want to learn to market yourself, command a room, and increase your speaking opportunities and get paid to speak. Thanks so much for your time today. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time. Miigwech ekose merci. Get in touch with me on Instagram or my website at jessicadumas.ca.